You visited Bodine Dimstone, who was coughing up black fluid from his lungs. And you also had an encounter with a tiny girl who collided with you while screaming for her dying mother. You decided to do your best to help the townsfolk, and on Alvag's advice, stocked up on supplies at the general store before following the river upstream to seek the source of corruption. On your way there, you encountered Sebedin Thriceblessed, a young cleric. There was lots of arguing. It was great. You eventually continued along the river, tracing it up a northern tributary and into a waterlogged cave. In the cave, you battled and defeated a group of uncanny-looking creatures who shared many of their characteristics with fish. You discovered a spring of contaminated water, which you surmised must be bubbling up from the underground river, accessible through the mine north of the town of Lvov.
Jumping at him, guys.
And as you all wait, roll a perception check.
Oh god. Every time I get this roll, this is gonna be a bad day. I'm getting bad vibes. 9!
11.
13. 6. I swear to god I need new dice.
Okay, so I've got Torrin, Beaten, Arkan, Red Fear, 14. Bob?
11.
Bon, 11. So, Ethan notices something rather strange. Chris was supposed to be on watch when you were all to wake in the morning, but he's nowhere to be seen.
Guys, where did Chris go?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know. He was awfully drunk previously, so like, you know.
Oh god.
Whose idea was it to put him on watch?
Oh yeah, I thought he offered.
He offered.
And you let him?
Despite all the beer you gave him?
No one else said anything, so you know, it's kind of a
as you
group fault.
argue, you hear a strange noise coming from a little way off the camp. A sort of spluttering noise.
Oh dang.
Should we go?
Is that you, Chris?
No response, but the spluttering continues.
So who wants to check it out?
Is it getting louder or not?
It's not getting louder.
I'll rush over because we don't know.
Alright, we'll stay here.
So Fon goes rushing over, and as you leap through the foliage that edges your camp, you immediately see a familiar red-garbed figure. And as you get close enough to look properly, you see that he's curled up on the ground, coughing really violently. And out of his mouth you can see just a thin trail of black fluid.
Can I see if he's if he's drunk anything or?
Sure, you can do a what would that be? A medicine check, probably.
Okay. All right.
Or actually, an investigation check is.
But that's kind of better. Let's see. 15.
15. Okay. So you examine him, and as far as you can tell, you can't see that. There's no evidence that he's consumed anything strange. But what you do notice is that the black fluid that he seems to be coughing up is pretty identical to the fluid that you saw Bodine coughing up when you visited him in his home before leaving the town.
Oh shit.
Was he ill to begin with? I'm gonna call over to the other people, like Torrin, Arkin.
Yep.
Quickly.
What's happening?
Torrin will come over as quickly as possible. He's not going to mess
I
around.
just wait for the tree into the foliage.
Okay, so you're all coming to the sound of Fon's summons, and you can now all see that Chris is there, curled up on the ground, his lungs racked with cough. and spluttering out little dribbles of black ooze, much like Bodine. And it's very clear to all of you that whatever this strange plague is, Chris has caught it.
Oh shit.
What do we do?
Can you talk?
Chris?
He
Chris?
tries to gasp out some words between the coughs, but he's quite dazed and he's not able to say anything comprehensible.
Do we need to take him back to the village? Can't leave him out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking him with us, at this point, he's going to be a liability.
If we can take him with us, and then we can at least try and stop whoever's there, because we know no one in the village can cure him. So if we try and protect him and stop whatever's causing this, we might find a cure at the place.
Well, what if we don't?
If
We
not,
just have to try.
What if we catch it from him?
That'd be very bad.
Can I try and make some sort of check to determine, like, maybe how he got infected at all? Is, like, anything I can glean?
Do a insight check.
My insight... Oh, it's -2 on my insight. This is
Got
great.
me to do it.
Alright, no, I'm still gonna roll it. You can do it after me if I fuck up, but I'm going for it. 3!
Oh god.
Allow
If
me.
anyone else wants to do an insight,
I'll do it.
I'll do one.
Corin, just stay silent. Just, you know, I didn't try to think anything.
21.
Oh god.
Did better than me.
was that red fear?
Yes.
21.
GG.
Shit, that was a nat 20. Okay, so you think back and you wonder how it might be that he's become infected with this plague, and you think perhaps it was something that he might have consumed while he was still in the village, or perhaps when he fell into the water whilst fighting the fish people, he might have swallowed some of it.
So I expressed this to my comrades, and whatever it is, it's not contagious in that way. We can catch it just by being with him.
But if it's the first option where he might... Because it could be when he fell into the river, but if it's when he ate something at the village, wouldn't that put Veet in the same situation, possibly?
You know that the plague travels through the water.
Ah.
Okay.
And you know that, to the best of your knowledge, the water in the village well is clean. It's just water from the river.
Then it was probably from the fight.
Yeah, probably.
I still don't think it's a good idea bringing him with us, because if we have to end up protecting him, I'm not sacrificing my life for him. Sorry.
As long as we can keep him with us, worst case scenario, we can leave him. But if we head back now, more people are going to be affected. We did promise that girl we would help her mother.
That is true.
We are a little bit...
He's got a point there.
aren't we? But would he slow us down?
You suspect that carrying Chris along with all of his gear would probably significantly slow you down, especially traveling through the mine. Because you don't know what obstacles might be down there.
Veet, is there anything in the surrounding area that we could go to maybe, like, put Chris away? I don't know, like, maybe, like, an abandoned house in the forest, or...
Veet, you know that not too far away there is a chapel
sweet.
which serves the
I should know of this
deity.
chapel. I should know of this chapel.
Yeah, you know about this chapel. It's dedicated to Sebedin Thrice Blessed deity, but nobody really goes there anymore. So you could probably leave him there quite safely.
Yeah,
It
guys,
still has a functioning door, so he won't get eaten by
good. Guys, so there's actually a chapel nearby from like an old deity. No one really goes to it, but like the door works, so we can go there. It's not far.
Yeah, if we take him there, then he's got somewhere safe and we're not burdened down.
That sounds about right. Let's do it.
Good. So
Amazing.
I guess you guys can follow me. I'll try not to trip this time.
So, who's carrying Chris?
Whoever's the strongest.
Probably Red Fear then.
I'll do it. I mean, it's a little bit awkward because I'm quite short, but I can still carry him. It's fine.
I just noticed that the two strongest people in your party are the halfling and the dwarf.
You could both, like, help to
In
carry
my
him.
defense, I have no negative modifiers.
So, yeah, so you pick up Chris and you gather up his belongings that were left at the camp, and your own belongings, of course. And Beat leads you to the west a little way, where you see a small stone chapel that's mostly overgrown by moss and has like a small sapling growing out of the roof, where it's just gathered earth over the years. And you swing open the slightly creaky wooden door. The inside of it is still quite nicely kept. You assume that perhaps Severin goes there and keeps it in good order. There are a couple of pews, one on each side, and a central altar which has a red cloth on it that's not too modern.
Should we just leave him there on the altar? I don't
I'll
know.
lay him down on the altar.
Why the altar? Put him on the pews! At least put him on the seats! We're not sacrificing him!
It has a comfortable red blanket thing.
Move the red blanket onto the seats!
I think Chris would like the red blanket.
Because if we don't like, we should hide him out the way.
I can just imagine, like,
You all can't be in the back.
I'm imagining this right now, and I feel like it'd be hilarious. Like, this actually happened, it would be hilarious.
Aghast. Absolutely
Right,
aghast.
what happens, like, the crazy clip, like, he comes back in and go, oh, look, his sacrifice, stabs him, and that's him dead.
Does someone
Kendra, I have a
want to
spell
maybe
question.
leave a note for him, for Severin,
Kendra.
in case he comes and finds Chris?
Kendra, I have a spell question.
What's up?
How does ceremony work?
Oh, goodness.
Because I'm looking at it, but I'm like, it looks like I have to do more than just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at it, it says, like, components.
I mean, components confuse me, so I don't tend to pay too much attention to them.
Okay.
Where is ceremony? Sorry, is that in the paladin section?
Yeah. I have it open if you want me to link it to you. I'll just put it in the chat.
It's all good. I've got it.
Okay.
Here we go.
I wanted to know if whether or not he's dead yet. I'd like to use funeral.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hang on. Give me 1 second to actually
Okay.
do this, because I am entirely failing to find ceremony.
This is hilarious. I have one called Wedding. I can make you guys married. If someone wants to marry someone.
No.
Tarkin.
No.
But you guys get bonus
ceremony?
AC.
Okay, yeah, send it in the chat, because I am failing to find it in the book.
It's
It's
in the
in
bottom.
the HAVOC'S Plague chat.
Amazing.
Casting time 1 hour.
1 hour.
I think
Okay.
just based on that, we should just shelve it. 1 hour? No.
I mean,
Do we want that in our life right now?
Time.
We're
I mean,
kinda
we didn't use it on
strapped
the
for
bear.
time.
so
Yeah.
Can we just have fun? Just do like a funeral thing and play Amazing Grace on the bagpipes?
I think I forgot that order.
Also, funeral rite only works on corpses. He's not dead yet.
Well, if he's dead, let's make him dead.
He's not.
You're not gonna kill
In
him.
the words of Monty Python, he's not dead yet.
Yes, he is.
Arkin can make him dead.
You're not killing him.
I mean,
No.
Theoretically, any dead, but that's not a good idea.
To be honest, I think any one of us could kill him at this point. He has less than
I'm
double-digit
actually worried
health.
because Red Deer's been eerily quiet, and I just imagine him just standing there, just thinking.
I've put him on the automatic.
Kendra, I have a quick. I have a spell question myself, but it's my spell attack modifier. Is that increased damage or?
Okay, the attack modifier is the modifier to hit, I think.
Modifier to hit, right?
I think that's correct.
Also, remind me what hex does.
It hexes someone. It does pretty much exactly what it says on the tin, which is, where's it gone? Here it is. Until the spell ends, and it's a concentration spell of up to 1 hour, whenever you hit the target with an attack, you deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to it.
Right.
Necrotic.
Yeah, because warlocks are great.
Is
Warlocks are
anyone
good
coming
people.
of age?
Well,
Sorry.
I swear to God.
give it 2 weeks.
There's one called coming of age.
We're not performing a ceremony.
Do you want me to play a song, like a tune for him, like over his body, just so we can just?
I mean, the coming of age one isn't actually a bad thing. I mean, it can add a D4
No, it's helpful.
to the ability check. That's helpful.
I mean, who's coming for like? Yeah.
I feel like we've lost track of things. This is all about Chris right now. He's dying.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
And we're preparing his funeral.
He's just sort of still draped awkwardly over Redfear and Veep, who are tiny, holding him.
Okay.
Look, I still think the best idea is take the thing from the altar, the little blanket, put it on one of the pews, and just sit in there.
Does anyone have like a parchment we can write and just write like, "Dear whoever comes this way, our friend is gravely ill. Please protect him." Yeah. Yeah.
Well, for the time being, I've plopped him down on the altar. I've kind of stood back, looked pleased with myself. I'm expecting you guys to do something.
Because you reached the altar.
I swear to God, I give up.
Oh. Okay, so he's just on the altar. That's fair. Are you wanting to leave a message?
I think we should leave a message.
Do we have
No, I don't
anything
need
that we
parchment.
can actually leave a message?
I've just looked through everyone's sets
I
of
don't.
things. I'm pretty sure Chris is the only one that
Go.
does, actually.
Oh, can
Robin
we take it out of his pocket?
Ink and a quill and some parchment. That you use.
Actually,
Can we
that's
take
a
it
good
out of
point.
his
Can we
pocket?
take some of his items at all? Because he won't be able to use them.
Sure. What's useful to you?
Raise him up his stuff.
So, what's he got on him?
Oh,
Can we, like...
Okay. He has a quarterstaff, a component pouch, which won't be useful to any of you because that's a wizard thing. A backpack, which you've pretty much already got. Bedroll, mess kit, tinderbox. You've all got, I think. He has 10 torches. He has 9 days rations. Though you might want to leave him some food so that he doesn't die.
Can I, without anyone noticing, can I like steal 5 days worth of rations from him? Can I try
Make a
and rob
sleight of
him?
hand check.
Oh yes, +2 on my roll.
Don't fuck this up, or I'm coming for you.
Alright, I am gonna... This is gonna be an interesting roll because I'm rolling my dice on the floor because it gets more bounces. So this should...
Oh god.
Alright. Oh god, it's gone out of the room. Where is it? 21! 21! Give me your
He's so happy.
Chris! Give me your rations!
Alright, time to quote that.
You successfully steal 5 days rations from Chris without anyone noticing.
I now have 14 days of rations.
Oh god.
Not even Chris realizes.
I am a good rogue.
Yeah, whatever you say, Billy.
Okay, he also has a water skin. He has 50 feet of rope. He has a spell book, which again isn't all that useful to anyone who's not a wizard. a bottle of black ink and a quill and a piece of parchment.
Well, let's use that for the note.
Yeah.
Good
You want
shout.
to take his rope?
What?
So you
Yeah.
might need the rope.
Yours is a bit frayed, Torin. So. I mean, what is this letter thing? What is? It's got a letter on him.
He does indeed have a letter on him.
There's a letter on
we
him?
didn't
What?
really have a great discussion about that. It's a question from a colleague that he'd never been able to answer. You can't really understand much of it because it's mostly written using very complex magical arcane vocabulary. And there are some words in it that seem to be in a completely different arcane alphabet, so you can't really make head nor tail of it.
How did he understand it?
Yeah, I have a +4 in Arcana.
Maybe that was his personal quest, was to finally understand what this letter meant.
Oh well.
Oh well.
Sorry.
So who wants to write the letter? Stab it in.
Who has the best handwriting? How do we decide that?
My handwriting's horrible.
Would a rogue be good at writing?
I mean, why not? You might need to forge things every once in a while.
I'm probably good at the whole forgery. I mean, I'm not forging anything, but yeah, I'll write the letter.
Don't roll a 1.
I don't think writing a letter is going to require. Well, I hope it doesn't require a dice roll.
Oh.
It doesn't require a dice roll, don't
Thank
worry.
God. Yeah, I'll write it. Yo, Sev, we got your mate, Chris Dragon Friend. He dying. Please
No.
help. Send help. No. Yeah, I write a letter explaining what's going on to Sevidin, and explaining
And
Chris's
apologising for leaving a near corpse on the altar of his chapel.
Apologising for my acquaintances and
Stupidity.
their actions.
Oh yeah.
They're
I
idiots.
had nothing to do with this.
Hey, you guys can't see what I'm writing. You just know I'm writing a letter. Yeah, and then we leave that. I'll leave that like on Chris so that it's like easily viewable.
Could I just like take a galley thing of beer and just kind of leave it next? Just like walk out. No words.
I love that it's just become a thing that you just have infinite quantities of beer.
I always had beer.
We just don't question it at this point.
We just don't question it.
I feel like I'll take it out again, and Torm just look at me like so confused, like why did I like what? How'd you get that?
Corin is both confused and just extremely disappointed in you.
Oh.
But to be fair, Torin is the one who refused your beer back at the brewery. So.
True, yeah. Good point.
Are you happy that you've left Chris in a suitable state?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is he still on the altar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, when everyone else like goes to leave, can I just like put Chris on one of the pews with the red carpet?
Wait. He should roll a check because
Hey, I don't mind rolling a check.
if he
for it.
knocked the
was
beer
gonna,
over
like,
and I heard
So,
it,
serenade
that
him
would
with
give it
music.
But I know that Fawn was against putting him on the altar as well. So maybe I could like go to Fawn and be like, hey, do you want to help me move Chris onto a pew?
Torrent, listen, I want to move him, but look at me.
You're one of the strongest people here.
no, he's
No,
not.
I'm not.
He's not.
He's the bard.
I'm
He
a
has no
bard.
strength at all.
He has little spaghetti noodle arms. On the instrument.
I'll bloody help you move him.
I think if Billy does it, he has to
ask
roll
for you.
because I could hear the beer fall, but if they hits the beer over, then I know, and then it wouldn't be secret.
Oh right, no, I accidentally got Jack mixed up with with the.
Yeah, good.
For some reason I thought Jack was the halfling. I
Oh,
don't know
I'm a
why.
half elf.
No, Drax the half
Yeah.
elf.
He's a half-elf bard.
Ah.
I put him on the altar and hope it might somehow cure him faster, if anything.
I mean, that's the ritual stuff. We might. Worst case scenario, zombie. But,
I still want to take him off the altar. I don't trust that goddamn altar. I don't trust Severdin either. If he comes in and he sees someone on the altar, he might just be all stabby.
Well, you know, if he used funeral right, he won't become undead and come kill us all.
Oh, you can't do that because he's
Kill us
alive.
all! Alright, well then we need Seb to go finish the job for us so we can perform such duties.
Okay, why don't we move him, and then I'll play a nice tune, and we can just go.
Yeah, let's do it. Do it. I'm okay.
So you together pick Chris up along with the red altar cloth and move him to one of the pews.
What would happen if I just took out my hammer and just whacked him across the face?
No, please.
No.
If you whack Chris across the face,
You won't kill.
with
No.
your hammer,
With my wolf.
Please.
you would do 1d10 of bludgeoning damage and probably kill him.
Stop.
Please. This isn't time to sail. No.
Whack him, I'll whack you.
Save it for the enemies.
Fine.
Also, you're a paladin, aren't you supposed to be, like, neutral good?
Oh yeah.
If anyone in his party would even have the thought of killing Chris, it would be me.
So, you don't hit him over the face with your hammer. I think we've come to that conclusion.
I think we have to.
Are you going to play a little musical
Okay,
tribute before you
I'm
leave?
trying to pick which one. It's either the very depressing one or the very depressing one.
Go with the
I think the
upbeat.
very depressing
Yeah.
one seems appropriate.
Let's find it on SoundCloud.
Torin has already just walked out. He's just completely ignoring it.
Or it. Let's get there.
Can I just throw a dagger into his instrument?
Please, no. Please no. This is precious to me.
No.
This looks precious to me. Please no.
I feel like when Arkin says that, Fawn just like sprints out the door like in absolute terror.
I would like to sprint out playing this.
The non-funeral rites now complete. You will
It is?
leave the chapel.
Can I give him a big hug before I leave? Like a big hug.
I mean, sure.
So I'll walk out and just have like trace of like black stuff on my face.
I mean, yeah, probably like slightly down your back as well, because I imagine he'd probably cough as you squeezed him, and like that would just be really grim.
You've got to have some sort of personality problem. It's like, oh, I'm gonna whack him in the face. I'm gonna hug him.
I'm gonna give him a hug.
A big hug.
So,
Tubby.
You all make your way out of the chapel and resume your journey north, now in the knowledge that if you fail, Chris's life is also on the line.